What's up YouTube? We're back with another deck that performed really well at last weekend's seasonal tournament. This time we'll be taking a look at Thresh Viego with an Ionia splash. Now I know the deck had a bad reputation on the rank ladder for not performing too well, but before we continue I want to show you guys an infographic with some stats. Now looking at these stats we can see that it is not the most played deck by any means, but what really intrigued me was the huge discrepancy between ladder win rate and tournament win rate. We can see that on ladder it used to only win 44% of its matches, while at the seasonal open rounds it won an unheard of 60.2%. That is almost the highest win rate of any deck that was played in the seasonal open rounds, and although the sample size was not enormous, it did get a couple of people into the top cut, and I was intrigued by it and wanted to try it out and see if it now works a bit better on the ranked ladder. And here we are, I yoinked one of those deck lists and tuned it a bit to my liking. And I'll just go through the card choices that I made. So let's start off with the units. We have Greenglade Lookout, one of the staples of this deck, because we can protect him very well with cards like Twin Disciplines, maybe sometimes get multiple strikes off, and it usually discounts our very key cards. Playing an Invasive Hydrovine or Viego or Thresh a turn earlier can be absolutely enormous in this deck. Then we have plenty of useful 3-drops. Carnivoran Soldier, of course, just 2 units in 1 action is very good for offense and defense. We have Tasty Faefolk, a great tool in the current meta to stabilize in the mid game and also trades super well. It trades into Ziggs, it trades into a Poppy that attacks. Just takes care of a lot of troubles. And then we play 2 Shadow Assassins. This deck is a bit short on draw sometimes, and this is a nice utility tool for chip damage. Also, sometimes elusive blockers are very useful. Then we get to the bread and butter of this deck, which is our top-end cards. We have 2 5-drop champions in Thresh and Viego. Now, Thresh is not all too hard to level in this deck. It does take a bit of time, but we have plenty of ephemerals here from the Carnivoran Soldier as well as Viego's Encroaching Mists. And we can protect Thresh very well, right? With Twin Disciplines, Spirit's Refuge, Deny Nopify, and so on. So eventually he can level up, and if Thresh pulls the Viego, you're usually on a good way to win the game. Then, of course, Viego on his own, the true carry of this deck, as well as Invasive Hydrovine, which can often carry on its own, of course, giving you endless Encroaching Mists every new turn, pumping them up further and further, can just really take control of a lot of matchups. Now, playstyle-wise, we don't really try to turbo level anything. We rather outgrind our opponent, and this deck is currently in a pretty good state because the meta allows it to be. There isn't a lot of heart removal, basically. There aren't a lot of Hushes, Vengeances, Despairs, Runations, that type of stuff, Comets, Obliterates, whatever. Viego can usually stay on the board for quite a while, outside of maybe Minimorphs or Aloof Travelers. Those are something we have to watch out for, but especially in the tournament format, we could always ban the scariest of our opponent's decks. And even in the ranked ladder right now, I'm not running into too much of those. Now, let's continue taking a look at these spells, which are very interesting. Glimpse Beyond a staple 3 of. It has great synergy with Viego to spawn mists in case you don't manage to let the unit die in other ways in that very specific round. And of course, card draw is great for any control deck. Now for tech choices, I really like one Nopify. It hits a lot in the current meta, stuff like rallies or cheap removal. Sonic Wave is something that I thought did surprisingly well, especially in combination with cards like Tasty Faefolk, to really take out those scary units in your opponent's backline that they don't attack with. Otherwise, this version is a bit short on removal. Syncopation is a very cute card in this deck, both offensively and defensively super flexible, right? If your opponent tries to challenge Viego or remove him with some big spell or anything, you can just swap it out with some little, let's say, Valfi's Spiderling. And of course on offense as well, especially with the Shadow Assassins, let's say you line up a big attack, everything gets blocked except for the elusive, and then you can swap your super stacked Viego into that spot and just one-shot your opponent sometimes. Mist's Call is a cute tech. I run it here as a one-off. Of course, very high value if you revive a Viego or Hydrovine or Thresh. But even in aggro matchup, if it gives you an extra Faefolk or Carnivoran Soldier, you're usually very happy. Then triple concussive palm, very important, especially with the amount of scions and so on that is running around. A great flexible card, mostly defensive, can sometimes be used offensively as well to stun fearsome blockers and ensure a hit from Viego Hydrovine. We have a Deny, doesn't hit too much in the current meta. Still not sure if it has to be in this deck, but still is a nice tool to have. Still hits Decimates and Yordle Burn and so on. Spirit's Refuge, not sure if this should be a 2-off or a 3-off. This is great against any burn deck that you run into, and also great into any Demacia deck that you run into. For example, against Akshan Sivir, this ensures that you can kill a Sivir that is attacking quite handily. And then as a spicy finisher, we run an Atrocity, and of course we have some targets that can grow insanely big. Viego can grow insanely huge. Hydrovine already has a lot of attack. The Mist can get very huge, and we can buff them even further with cards like Twin Disciplines for the finish. Now you also have a lot of interesting tech choices depending on your current needs. Some of them would be some other Shadow Isles removal like the Box, Vengeance, Withering Way, Grasp of the Undying. You could go for some more hard removal like Vengeances. I don't think this deck really needs Ruination, but it's always a consideration. And then for units, you could play some more early units like Hapless Aristocrat, maybe Fading Icon and Spirit's Leech if you need a bit more card draw, or more suicide effects for Viego. Rekindler is an option as well, which also protects your stuff from aloof travelers. And of course you have some more Ionia control tools, stuff like Homecoming or Will of Ionia is always a consideration. Now, I think the reason this deck performed very well was because it's very well tagged against a lot of aggro decks, a lot of tempo decks, and it can hold its ground very well, but it still has game into certain control decks. And I personally had quite some success with it on the ranked ladder. It didn't amaze me entirely. Like I said, it's probably better in a tournament setting, but I think you can still climb with this in a ladder setting as well, and it is of course very fun in its own way. A control deck centered around Viego. It's a very satisfying feeling to get some insane combos to pop off, having multiple Viegos on the board and so on. The games can just go out of hand very easily. And yeah, I have some pretty epic gameplay examples for you guys. Enjoy.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Doggo. Alright. I almost want to keep this just so I have an insured target for Lookout. How many copies of Fading Memories have I on? 0 in this. What would I want Fading Memories for? Sorcerer Man. Alright, alright. I want multiple cost reductions. I can try. Fading is broken with Viego. Yeah, but also sounds very inconsistent. Deathmark. This list doesn't run Deathmark. The idea here is trying to get a Hydrovine on 5. This game hates me. I know it. I know it. This game holds a grudge against me.
Today's the day I find that hero.
I taste purple. Yay.
Proud and loud.
Who are you?
Very mispositioned. Game says 6, take it or leave it. Gotta live with what we're being given, I suppose. Okay, no Mayor, no second Poppy. Yordles in arms is scary, of course.
Break their spirits and their souls.
Break their spirits and the swords.
Wouldn't be a quest without some danger. Hammer! On it and on 'em.
What you gonna pull, homie?
Hardly fair.
Oh, that list plays Resolve though. Tricky.
Hammer, serving lead.
Oh, my opponent learned from their mistakes. Damn. Otherwise, like, swapping these two is amazing, but they run Resolve, that's a bit tricky. Casually playing Poppy into this eye deck, passing with exactly 9 mana. Yeah, but okay, Viego piles don't run Ruination. That would be a wild tech on my side. Who needs Viego? Yeah, we're playing Hydrovine control right now. As long as my opponent has rally mana, I'm not gonna attack.
Pops, in your hat. I put it in your hat this morning.
Let the mist consume you! Ooh, good draw.
On it and on 'em.
Hardly fair.
This is a rally turn, isn't it? Did I give away that I have a third Hydrovine by playing the more expensive? Yeah, but I don't think that's relevant information to my opponents. But saving that 1 mana might come in handy later on. Otherwise I would have burned 1 mana, right?
We made it. Yay. But our stuff didn't.
Joke's on you, doggo.
You dropped something. I dropped everything.
Ah, that's a unfortunate mill there. Okay, what do we do? Just open up with Glimpse next round? Could full swing. I'm not really that scared of the back swing, right? Or not full swing. This Hydrovine stays back. Or I just look very hard for Viego, since he kind of insta-flips. I should probably draw here, to be honest. Otherwise, these bandit commandos are eventually gonna get to me. Attack with everything. It doesn't make sense that my opponent's refill plus rally is super scary. There we go. There we go. Good one, I know. I mean, Viego kind of just yoinks garbage at this point, though. I think we still have control over this game. Screeching Dragoon. No, my opponent's deck doesn't run Minimorph. If I do this, I obliterate the dragon, right? Yeah. God damn, I'm milling so much here. I'm milling 2 wrists, two wraiths and the dragon. 2 mists rather. Okay. Not sure if this is gonna get you back into the game. I could still lose to the elusives, that's a problem. So I was a bit sad the second darkness got, the second refuge got milled. Oh, deny for rally. Atrocity got kicked out as well, right? Yeah. We're looking for palms and maybe a no profile. Technically saves 1 HP. But of course if my opponent rallies... let's take him down. Just realized you wanted to chat about the coaching thing at the time I didn't read it. Wait, I think you read it out though. Okay. So I do really need to draw. Ooh, the spare doesn't help much here. We're holding on to that 1 deny. There's no way our opponent doesn't have multiple rallies, right?
There's nothing a good giggle can't fix.
What delightful agony we shall inflict. That is the price they paid for defying their king.
Don't you dare. Okay. Wait, I don't mind this dying. Otherwise, I'd have too many mists anyway. Oh, we're doing it! We're doing it. Let's go. I just pull all of the fearsome, potential fearsome blockers aside, and we should be fine here. Well, sharp side is still a thing, but it's... Let's see what we can do here. Try my deck TF Viego. Yeah, it's already in the description. I want to try that later as well. GG! Okay, we got a bit fortunate our opponent only had 1 ready. That was a nice control game. Okay, this is a fun matchup. We have 1 deny for like comets and stuff. Probably keep both of these champs. Yes, I did just call Hydravine a champ. god.
Looks like I'm ready. Bye-bye. I see you there.
There's no way I'm giving him the crystal into the turn 5 Thresh here. So I'd say I benefit more from keeping units on the board. So I'm not gonna swing in here. Okay, that's potentially scary. That's pretty good against a Comet. Viego plus Cinco. And then Hydra Vine. I think it's good. Or, of course, it's always possible our opponent just drew Asaw. Wonder if I have to despair the guy right now. Or, wait. Thresh, Vile Feast is probably the best. Just chill out a bit with Viego. This is definitely one of my opponent's win conditions. Doesn't Hydra just have level Thresh? Yeah, but it also helps level Viego. And leveled Viego kinda smacks leveled Asaw. I can probably chill out with a Vile Feast here, right? Don't give my opponent a Vile Feast as well. I don't think there's a punish for this. Ooh, I'm not sure if my opponent runs like Pay Cascade Guiding Touch actually.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Okay.
My spirit shines.
Ooh, debatable swing here. Runation's fine. Well, of course, only if we get decent draws off of Glimpse, but like my opponent killing their own 4 out of 6 Thresh wouldn't be that bad. Wait, obliterating doesn't give souls, right? So this means right now my opponent would have to invest additional cards to level Thresh at the start of their next turn, which means I can palm. Then I can flip my own Thresh. I don't like offensive twin at all because of Vile Feast. So far, everything's working out perfectly. Viego can actually swing because of Fearsome.
The dark beckons.
It's looking pretty good. Like, I don't think I can stop Thresh from flipping, but I can stop him from pulling Azor. And again, if opponent has more like hard removal for Viego, it's not looking good anymore. One, two, and I want the palm guy to die, so I pull a second Viego right away. Oh, it's actually 1, 2. The ghost is gonna be the third, so I play palm guy after resolve. Because if the 2 ephemerals die, already fine. This hard punished by atrocity. I don't think my opponent can afford to play around too much anymore. On my open attack, I pull the only Fearsome blocker aside. And the Viegos are gonna be smacking. Despair is not really a card anymore now that he's at 10. Only Grasp on Thresh. It's kind of the only thing.
Read the night.
Despair on Thresh? Despair on Thresh, that's actually true. That would have been good. Alright. What a lovely swing.
The dragon lives.
Does it matter to level the 2 Viegos mid-combat? Probably not. Maybe against Star Shaping or something. But then I could still do that with Glimpse.
I know your true heart.
GG! Out-controlled the Azor pile, let's go.
Without her, there is only darkness.